There we are. All right. Sweet. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's nice to see some familiar faces and some new ones in the audience today. Creative Mornings, thank you so much for having us. We're going to be speaking to you guys today on the theme of pride. So why don't we go through some intros and then I'll kind of let you guys know how it's going to work. Aheo, why don't we start with you?
Aloha.
Yeah.
Aloha mai kako. My name is aheo Zablan. I'm from Papakolea, Oahu. I currently reside in Wailupe, commonly referred to as Aina Haina. I'm the general manager of Kaimana Beach Hotel, and I have the honor to serve on the board as president of the Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center, as well as with Randy on the board at the Hawaii LGBT Legacy Foundation. Mahalo.
Ooh. Woo, woo, woo. Perfect. Aloha, I'm Randy Soriano. I am the executive director at Hawaii LGBT Legacy Foundation. I am also a local product. I'm from Kaimaki. I also serve on the Hawaii Health and Harm Reduction Center board as the secretary. And I'm glad to be here with you guys this morning.
All right. Very nice. And my name is Jairus. I am the founder and creative director of my little studio here in Honolulu. Stay a while. And we're going to be speaking on the topic of pride. Now, I know for a lot of people, the repeats, the regulars, it's kind of different. Usually there's like one person up here speaking for 20 minutes on the theme of the month. But now you got 3 gay guys trying to kiki on a Friday. What is going on, right? Thank you for the snaps. Yeah, so we're doing things a little differently today. So usually it's a 20-minute presentation. We're going to do a little hybrid model. So we'll go through a brief presentation of the work that we've done together creatively, and then we're going to do more of a talk story panel discussion on what pride means to us, to the community, and why it's so important. All right, so to kick us off, what is pride? So pride to different communities, different people can mean, a variety of different things. For our community, it's actually steeped in a lot of trauma and protest. Now, I won't go too much into it. I mean, I feel like half the crowd is kind of in our community, so you probably know, you can Google it. But that is why pride is so important to us, because it was really a point of just not belonging 50 years ago. That's why when you see June comes around, rainbow flags, everyone's proud, loud, we exist, we are proud of who we are, because 50 years ago we weren't even welcome. In some places we're still not welcome. So that's why for our community that's really what it means. And the Creative Mornings National Chapter actually said it best, but I'm gonna have to go back here because that is big words. All right, so they say on their website, pride is a celebration of our truest radiant selves and a defiance against those who expect us to dim our own light. I'm gonna say that louder for the people in the back. I'm just kidding. But I love those last 4 words, because how many of you in here have ever been in a room where someone's trying to dim your light? They're trying to bring you down. They're trying to belittle you. Raise your hands. Has anyone experienced that? There we go. So it's a very common human experience. But just imagine people from marginalized communities experience that more often, sometimes daily. So it's, again, really important that for our community, pride exists, because, without it, who would we be, So I know it's a little on the nose having 3 gay guys up here talking about pride, right? But specifically, why us 3? On top of being a part of the LGBTQ+ community, we also did a little bit of branding work this year for Honolulu Pride. So this is the previous logo of Pride. And I just want to open by saying design is a very subjective career, right? All of us, I'm seeing a lot of designers in the audience, interior designers, creatives. You put a lot of work into your research, your interviews, your focus groups, all the things to prove to your client, sometimes to yourself, why what you create will reach a certain demographic, a certain audience, right? So I just want to open by saying, no tea, no shade. I don't think there was really anything wrong with this logo. I think just with everything that happened, I think was it 8 years ago? that this is when the rebrand happened. So it's been about 8 years. It was just time for a new refresh. There's a lot of like exciting board members coming on, now led by Mr. Randy Soriano at the head. So with all that exciting changes happening for the Legacy Foundation, we just thought it was time to bring something new in. So that was the challenge, and I think it's gonna pop up. Oh, there we go. So after talking with the board, this was the creative challenge and some of the themes that came up. So one of the most important themes for Honolulu Pride is we wanted it to be really like Hawaiian and local culture focused. We wanted the brand itself to really resonate with locals. And on top of that being like inclusive, approachable, fun, modern, and a little bit trendy. So all that to say, like, this is what we needed to capture. For those who have not been to Honolulu Pride, like, this is what it's like. I mean, it's the joy for me, you know? It's the vibrance, it's the authenticity, it's the unapologetic need to just be. That's what we wanted to put into the logo for this time. So we were inspired by two things mainly. I mean, all the creatives in the room know there's like a bunch of iterations, but we really took inspiration from Rainbow Shave Ice. I'm seeing some nods, yeah. Because a lot of locals know that's very nostalgic. Like you went to the beach when you were young, you'd swim all day, wait for the Shave Ice truck, and you get your Rainbow Shave Ice. So that's the kind of feeling we wanted to evoke with the color palette of the logo, something bright, vibrant, also evoking some nostalgia if you're like from here. And it just feels like youthful, joyful. That's a lot of parallels to where the foundation wanted to go. And specifically inspired by this concept. So this was one of the first drafts of a logo that we created, not for Pride, but for their LGBTQ plus center in Waikiki. After speaking with the board, they really liked this concept, and I have this like huge vision that maybe can still happen one day, that we can put like this graphic on like a big white wall with like a Pride timeline and like it's an Instagrammable moment. But the board really wanted to use this as the foundation for the Pride logo moving forward. So this is what Pride used to look like. Fireworks. This is what Pride is like now. Oh, thanks. You guys didn't have to clap. Thank you so much. So it's a little different. The typography is a little more like, well, straight. We don't like to use that word all the time. But like straight, you know? The colors are very vibrant, like the Rainbow Shave Ice palette. We were very inclusive to include pink specifically for our trans community. But don't freak out, I swear to God, Diamond Head is not gone. Let me see. Okay, so as you see in the middle logo, oh, see, okay, this is the audience for today, thank you. Yeah, so we got the logo itself that we wanted to just stand on its own, similar to other cities on the continent and what their Pride logos are like. But when you add all these other branded elements to it, including Diamond Head at the top, it really contributes to like the overall like brand image to Pride beyond just the logo. Oh, and this is also one of my favorite parts. So why we went with a gradient this year is because, especially with the new direction of the Legacy Foundation, we wanted to be super, super inclusive in that we could change the colors specifically for like certain communities under the LGBTQ plus umbrella. So if you wanted to have like a trans event, you could change the colors to like baby blue and pink. If you wanted to have like specifically a lesbian event, pansexual, queer, bi, there's so many letters, you guys. I learned so much from this research. It's crazy. There's way more than just 5. So we just wanted to be inclusive of everyone. Oh yeah, and then we have some merch coming out soon. We just unveiled the brand in July, so this is like the tip of the iceberg of what could happen. Lots of big plans, but I think these shirts are coming out. Definitely the black one, fun collab coming out soon. And a lot of just, you know, exciting new merch, using the branded elements for like different activations. Save the date for like all of October, Pride's gonna be lit. Okay, and with that said, I could talk forever about colors, fonts, shapes, why we went with this and not with that, but I figured it'd be a much better use of our time to turn it over to our lovely panelists here and speak about why pride matters to us, our community, and where we see our community moving forward. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable aheo Zablan and Randy Soriano. Give them a hand.
Let's give Jairus a round of applause. That whole presentation was his brainchild. So, and I'll be honest, aheo and I are very OCD, so having to work with us probably has been a journey for Jairus. So
I love the journey. It's all about the journey. It's all good.
I'm glad you brought up the change from the LGBT center to, because that was the biggest, piece. And I think that was just, but it's amazing, an amazing piece of work. So we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you guys. Oh my gosh, I'll pay you $20 later. Thank you. Okay, well, with that said, I have a few questions for you folks. We'll start with the easy one, and this is for both of you. So what does pride mean to you both? And then we'll start with you, aheo.
Like Jairus mentioned earlier, pride, there's a lot to unpack there. But if I could just simply sum it up for me in one line, it is to be able to bring my whole self, my entire self to everything that I do. That's what pride is for me.
How about you, Randy?
Similar answer. I think for me, there's two parts to that. I think for us, we've lived in such a world where we've been marginalized that I think now that these generations before us have created the opportunity for us to live authentically, we have to do that, and really honor everything that's come before us, but just live our true selves. And I think it's a marketer in me. There always has to be a call to action. So I feel like pride is actually a call to action for all of us, to really continue that effort and make sure that the generations beyond just us have a safe space for themselves.
Love that. Yes, thank you for that answer. aheo, I'm going to go back to you for this question. Why is it important to even have pride for the LGBTQ plus community and beyond?
So I have notes because I get nervous, especially in front of large groups. So I'm going to stare at my friends and hopefully not screw this up. But, unfortunately, there are times as a society, we still need to ask permission to celebrate, right, ourselves, celebrate our diversity, whether it be Black History Month, AAPI, Heritage Month, Pride, or even Mahina Olalo Hawaii, right? We need to ask permission. And my hope is, especially this year with Honolulu Pride, it inspires our community and beyond to bring their whole selves, their authentic selves to everything that they do. And I mentioned that earlier, and that's my specific definition of pride, but I think it's important, right? Not just in October or June, and slight segue into something maybe we might touch on later about what plans we have for 2024, but we'll keep that little nugget out there.
Yeah, I remember when we were working together, aheo was really the one that was spearheading that he wanted pride to reflect specifically Hawaiian and local culture. I mean, because you're the GM of Kaimana, and you're one of the very few native Hawaiian hotel GMs. I mean, snaps for that. So, yeah. So I just love that you brought that into what you also envisioned for Pride, because Pride is, all over the world, all over the continent. But for us to stand out, we need to root ourselves in local culture. So I love that. Randy, this one's for you. So now that you're the new executive director of the Legacy Foundation, what do you envision moving forward? Where do you want to take it?
So recently we had our gala, and it was just this amazing opportunity for us to really share, the reimagined version of the foundation with the community. And we touched upon a few highlights. One of the main things that aheo and the board really want to focus on is accessibility, right? Because I feel like we can't be our most authentic self unless everyone has a seat at the table. So I think that's the most important thing, is just making sure that we focus on the intersections of our community and make sure that everyone feels safe and that they have the opportunity to not only just experience Pride, but experience the full scale of the resources that we provide for the community. So whether that be creating programming, creating a safe space in the LGBTQ center in Waikiki for people to, live, work, and play in, I think is just the most important thing for the organization. What's great is Aheo kind of teed me up for this, but we're hoping that in 2024 to unveil the Pride 365 concept with the state of Hawaii and really grow Pride to a year-round activation so that not only our sponsors feel that they have value, but also for the community to make sure that they are able to be seen and engage with the organization and with each other.
Aheo, back to you for this one. Because I know you wear a lot of hats because you're on like multiple boards, GM of Kaimana. So how do you include like pride or diversity, equity, and inclusion into your creative process and or your marketing?
So I did some research and I read the CreativeMornings manifesto. And the first line says, everyone is creative. And so that was helpful for me because I don't feel that I'm a creative. I see tons of creatives in this room, including one of my heroes, Jesse. So, I felt that I should just do some research. But, when the second line, or maybe, the last line, I think it is everyone is welcome. And I read that as everyone belongs here. And so how do you create a sense of belonging? By showing everyone the diversity within the community that either you're working for or you're trying to reach. We all know now more than ever, representation matters. And I want to ensure through Honolulu Pride and beyond with the Legacy Foundation is to ensure everyone, we provide reflections for everyone to see those that look and speak like them, act and think like them, and most importantly, that love like them.
Oh my gosh, mic drop on that answer. Love that one. Well, that's great. That basically takes me to the end of the formal questions that I had for you guys. Did you have any final thoughts that you wanted to share, promote some of the events that are coming up to the audience? By the way, you're all invited. Gay, whatever letter, no, like just come. Just come. Everyone is welcome. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely want to, urge all of you to, be a part of the community, whether you're on the spectrum of LGBTQI+. But, one thing that we really want to focus on is there's an A at the end of that and a plus. And really making sure that everyone feels like they're welcomed, because that's what we fought for so long. So we want to make sure that, our allies and other people are engaged as well. As Honolulu Pride comes in, we have tons of new, exciting events coming up for you folks. Too much for me to actually go through the list because...
However, very easy, shameless plug, if you follow us at Honolulu Pride.
Yes.
We also have our vice chair of the board here this morning as well, too.
Andrew, wave, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
But yes, please follow us on social media. We have a full list of all of the events. And to that point, we really are very intentional with the events this year and making sure that there is something for everyone. We are having a new opening night party at Hawaiian Brian's. And really that's providing the opportunity for all of us to really get out there, start the weekend out with a bang. And then you'll see a lot of exciting headliners for this year's programming. We're bringing Sasha Colby back home, so it's a party. It'll be a vibe. So definitely check out our Instagram for more information.
For sure, it's exciting because this is her first time back home doing appearances since her win, her historic win. So we're really excited to help celebrate her.
Aheo, any final thoughts? Oh, or that could be it. It's all good.
Let's run right into the questions, how we do that.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, well, with that, I think we're done, Noah. I think we're going to turn it over to Q&A now, if anyone had any questions.